So this right here is a hood anthem. What up, Texas? What up, Texas? What up, Texas?
What's up, Bulldoggers, and welcome to Shooting the Breeze with the Briggs of Borderland Kennels. For the first couple of episodes, what I'm going to do is just break down Borderland Kennels, pedigrees, introduce our dogs, and how we got from where we started to where we're at now, coming from the yard that we currently have now. Maybe one day I'll go take a trip through memory lane and crack open my Borderland book and show y'all some of the old 1990s stuff or early 2000s stuff. But what I'm basically focusing on now is the Borderland Kennels of today. So when it comes to Borderland Kennels, the first and foremost dog that I focused on with the current yard of today, as you can see the pictures back here, is Pinoleros CH Aquiles. Great, powerful athlete, and he's a big part of the Borderland Kennels, I guess you would say, repertoire of today. So, without further ado, this is Pinoleros CH Aquiles. What we're going to do for this first episode, since he was the first focus on the yard, I'm going to go in and I'm going to break down his pedigree, and that way everybody will see exactly where my dogs came from. It all starts with this dog right here, and he's the reason I went to this direction, and his background as well. So we'll go ahead and dig deeper into CH Aquiles, and from there we'll go forward with the pedigrees all the way down to the last litter that we just had, and we're gonna go hopefully introduce ourselves to you YouTubers out there, or to everyone that wonders about the Borderland Kennels and how we got started and where our focus is, or how we focus and how we breed, and hopefully it comes to an understanding. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and tap into CH Aquiles pedigree. Alright, people, so as I said, we're going to start this off by breaking down CH Aquiles, Pinoleros CH Aquiles. Shout out Pinolero Kennels, whoop whoop. No, Pinoleros Aquiles is basically a perfect blend of Grand Champion Rowdy and Grand Champion Spanky stacked on top of each other. And then we'll get down to the Pinoleros Chiquita, and we'll go on, because there's dogs of note in this dog, so you'll see why I'm doing what I'm doing in the future. But we're going to start off with Hambone. That is the dog that is the father, the sire of CH Aquiles. Okay, are you with me? So while we're going down through CH Aquiles, we're going to start with Hambone. Like I said, Hambone is the father of CH Aquiles, and he was a great dog in his own. And you'll notice that going through there, the main ingredient, I'll get there. Let's go to Hambone, and then we'll talk about the main ingredient of Hambone. So, Hambone that is Black Talon to Midnight Cowgirl. So, as you can see, Hambone is off of Black Talon, bro, which is directly off of Grand Champion Rowdy. GCK's Grand Champion Rowdy, which is a son of Lucifer, which is a son of Kate's Cujo, which is a son of Grand Champion Niggerino. And you go down through there, and you'll go through there. That Olendorf is definitely some. This little dog, as she is remembered in her time, she's a Carver dog, man. We're just gonna go with that. And we're gonna leave it there because you go down through it, you see it, but it all goes back to Eli Carver. She's an Eli Carver dog. So as we take this back, Black Talon is a Lucifer dog. Now, if you look at Midnight Cowgirl, you'll see she's a double granddaughter of Grand Champion Spanky. But there's something interesting inside this dog that I'm going to show you. So, we know Black Talon is a Niggerino dog. If you look at this Proud Mary, you see she's a Niggerino dog, man. Niggerino all over the place. Proud Mary actually came off of Terry's yard. McCollum, GCK acquired her from Terry. And Rowdy was right off of Lucifer. So you know where that was, wild side. So, all right. And then Orendorf's Lil, she's a Carver dog. So keep all of that in mind. Now when we go to Midnight Cowgirl, and this is going to all tie in into the future when I explain other dogs that are on the yard and other dogs that we're using. But Midnight Cowgirl, if we go to Popeye, McCollum's Popeye, which is right off Grand Champion Spanky, which in Spanky's background, he's an Eli Carver Jeep dog. Hey, with a little more Carver at the bottom. But this is the thing. Buzzard is right off of Rowdy. So that brings Rowdy and Spanky together there. And Grady Squaw, as you can see, has Honey Bunch, Rascal Jr., Chinaman. So they're Eli Jr. dogs. You know what I'm saying? Or Eli dogs. So it's a whole miss, hit and miss. Little Finley's Bow. That's this right here is Jeep's sister, Crenshaw's champion Missy. So this is how it goes down. But on a brighter note, we're not going to go that far down into the pedigree because by this time I get to Redman and Grady Special, which is a double Redman dog, and that's why you see this. So, but it's so far back in the pedigree that it's really not equivalent to what's going down right now in this squad dog. But what does continue to happen is if you look at this Buzzard dog, which is Camille's dad, Camille's dad, that's Rowdy to Raven. So you can see right here, that's double Lucifer bred. You know what I'm saying? This dog is a double granddaughter of Lucifer. But going back, this right here is all McCollum stuff, and everything else is Carver, Eli Jr. And it makes sense. So we're gonna back out of that. So that's Popeye. Now this is something special. A dog of note is this Maryland dog. But if we go to Darla, which was a hell of a dog, that's Grand Champion Spanky to Marlin. Now the big thing about Marlin is if you look at over here at Marlin, this is all Carver through Banjo stuff. There's Banjo there, BB Red here. That's Banjo's littermate sister. All these dogs right here, this is all Carver. Carver dogs. Carver. Bad News. Carver. All of this is Carver. Great Carver. Good Carver dogs. All good Carver dogs. And that's where she came from. Big old Superfly. You keep that dog's name in mind because when I get to other dogs in the yard, you will see that the method to the madness of Borderland Kennels. Now I'm gonna let that soak in for a second. We're gonna go back. So that is Black Talon, the Midnight Cowgirl, and this is why this dog was Hambone was really tight on Grand Champion Spanky and Grand Champion Rowdy, right? So we're back at Achilles. So what was Blackie then? Well, let's go look at Hambone's, our Achilles' mother that was bred to Hambone. And we're going to dive into McCollum's Jet. As you can see, this is why I say Black Talon is a dog of note, because it's not only coming through Hambone. We got Black Talon Rum right here, which is another son, which is the son of, which is a Niggerino dog. Grand Champion Rowdies, bred to Proud Mary, right? And then right here, Darla. This comes right back to the Grand Champion Spanky to Maryland. And then right here, Black Talon, bred to Brooke, is Grand Champion Rowdy, McCollum's Proud Mary, Niggerino dog, bred to a daughter of Spanky. And this right here is interesting because it brings us back in the future. When we start talking about other dogs in the yard, this dog is key to why that blood is clicking. Now, if we look at Jasmine, we see right here, she's Honey Bunch, Honey Bunch, Honey Bunch. She is Finley's Boda, Honey Bunch. That's Crenshaw's Kate. Jeet, that's brother sister. We got Honey Bunch to Otis, so that's more Honey Bunch, and that's how that ties in. Later on, it'll all come together. Look at this. If you go to her mom, you got Honey Bunch, Wee Nut, Finley's Bow, Honey Bunch, Crybaby. I think that's all of the entire litters in this pedigree. So this makes sense when you're talking about ties in the future. But right now, like I said, the main ingredients to Champion Achilles is Rowdy and Spanky, and it gets no tighter than that. And then you'll see as I go through the pedigrees how I did it. And if you look at this pedigree right here and understand this pedigree, you'll see that what I do is I follow the recipe. And following the recipe, pardon me, is easy if you understand what the recipe is, right? So that's Jet. Let's go back. Now, another interesting part of Pinoleros Champion Achilles that dogs of note is in Chiquita. This is Chiquita. And Chiquita, Pinoleros Chiquita, was right off of Stompanato. That is the dog you take note in, because in the future you'll see how that falls into place. But all of these dogs in Champion Achilles are dogs that I'm mentioning are of note. Now, Briggs by Champion Achilles are words. You could go down the line and you'll see that there's some, what he said was kind of scatterbred. Briggs wasn't really scatterbred, but he was not what, you can't just notice what he was. But if you go back there enough, you'll see that he's Heinzel. He's got some, he's a little Kobe in there. I'm trying to remember, but I haven't focused on this dog. Little Eli, there's Midnight Cowboy. So he's kind of, there's Cassius Clay. Everybody know that's a Corvino dog, but he's Eli. He's Eli Corvino. He's got some Heinzel. So I guess you would say he was scatterbred. There are so many ways that you could have gone with this dog to create a line. because of all of the good dogs in him. And I would urge y'all, if y'all want to know more about Briggs, tap into it and see what Briggs was about. You know, there was just a couple of she only had a couple of I keep saying he, my bad. Briggs was a female. I'm so sorry. She had there's only the Stompanato litter, and you could go down through there and see which way they went with those, but you go back and you'll see, and then she had the Willie Ron litter. The Willie Ron litter. But that's what she was. And I appreciate everything that she brought to Champion Achilles. You know what I'm saying? Now the Stompanato part, everybody knows Stompanato, wild size Stompanato, and what he goes back to. But that's a lot of more Niggerino in there. Kate Sasha twice, that's Renegade, and then it's a double bred Renegade dog. And then if you look at it, really it's deeper because Wild Size Bulldozer was a Renegade dog. And I want to say that Rambo's a Niggerino dog too. So, as Niggerino, that is so Stompanato, Wild Size Stompanato was a Niggerino dog. Pretty much plain and simple. You could go through it how you want to with a little Jeep carver out. But it's a Niggerino dog with a Jeep carver out. So we love that about Renegade, bringing that to Stompanato, and it's double Renegade, triple Renegade. So Stompanato, a dog of note. So keeping true to Stompanato being a dog of note, we're gonna go back. So that way everybody will see what I'm talking about. Let's go all the way back. So that's Blackie we just went through. So that's Jet, which is a Stompanato dog, which is a Niggerino dog, bred to the Renegade stuff, which is Wild Size Stompanato. With Briggs, we found that as an out, which was a great out again, in the sense because it added more to the gene pool. So now understanding Wild Side's part in the game, and understanding the Black Talon run, the Spanky, the Grand Champion Rowdy, and how Black Talon rum is bred. So when you look at this pedigree, knowing that Black Talon is a Niggerino dog, all these dogs are off of Case Cujo in his background pretty much. And then you come down through the pedigree, so you see, Black Talon brings you Grand Champion Rowdy. So when you go down the fourth generation, you're like, okay, Lucifer, Niggerino, all of this Niggerino with a little carver out, right? Spanky, we went down through his and how he's bred, Carver Eli. Right here, McCollum's Camille brings Rowdy back in. So that's some more Niggerino. Carver dogs. Spanky, more Carver Eli. Right here, this Maryland dog. Remember, a dog of note. Maryland brings you the Carver bad boys. You got Bad News. You got Banjo, you got BB Red, all of that stacked into that one dog. Great dog. Thibodeau would do his thing with the Coy stuff, man, and the McCool stuff. And Thibodeau, he was breeding some good Carver dogs. And then you go back, there's Black Talon again. Remember, that's him up here, so that's more Niggerino on top of Niggerino. A little Carver out. Darla, remember? Darla is Niggerino. It's all coming from Grand Champion Rowdy and Grand Champion Spanky right there. No, Darla is off Spanky to Marlin, my bad. Darla is more of this right here. This is her right here. So it's more of this right there. Then there he is again, Black Talon Run. You know what I'm saying? So as you go down, you see that. McCollum's Brook, Wild Sides Renegade. Wild Sides Rennie. This is all real tight. Renegade, this is like 3 times Renegade in the Stompanato. That Renegade. And then we have the Briggs out. You know what I'm saying? Got a little something to add to the gene pool. But this right here is what I keyed in on, or what my vision was to key in on to go further. You could have took Achilles and went any direction with him. And then you'll see later on how we tie that in. But he was tight enough to be able to cross with anything. So that's when you have options. But if you're a student of the recipe, then you have all the options you need. You have Marlin, you have all the options in Brick, you have the alternate options that are in Stompanato. And if you continue to look at it that way, you have your tight dog. And then you want to add to your tight gene pool, then you look for things to add to the gene pool. So those are the things that we're going to get into as I introduce the other dogs on the yard, are the dogs that are on the yard or that came to the yard that created what I have going on. But when you realize that Champion Achilles is the base, then you understand that with the base, you have options and roads to take. You could take the right, you could take the left, you could go straight forward, you could turn around and go backwards, but you have roads to take. And that is one of the great things about Pinoleros Achilles, Champion Achilles. Let's not knock his name. A beautiful athlete, a beautiful specimen of a bulldog, beautiful attitude of a bulldog. And shouts out to Pinolero for breeding this beautiful dog. And I got a funny story about Achilles. This was actually Pinolero's wife's dog. And you know how that goes. But a great specimen of a dog, a great breeding of a dog. Really was picked up and bred, or picked up from McCollum and brought to Pinolero's yard. Just a great specimen of a dog. Blackie, good dog. Hambone, great dog. Black Talon, 2 dogs long, 1 dog high, will jump over your head. Very athletic animals, and he throws athletic animals. But it's because it's coming from the generations behind, man. Every dog that's behind this dog are athletes. Athletic dogs, man. And you could go back and maybe find some history on those dogs. But great animal as a foundation. So if you look at my pedigrees, you will see Champion Achilles a lot. So this is the reason why I wanted to go in depth on Champion Achilles, because he is such a big part of the program that the dogs I have today would not be without him, if that makes sense to you out there. He's really the focal point of the yard. Beautiful animal, beautiful dog, and never owned by Borderland Kennels. Never on Borderland Kennels yard except for one breeding. But he was on his way to the yard when he passed away. He was coming. He was supposed to be here actually the week before. Transporter couldn't get there, but I was gonna try to bring him back to the front of the pedigree. You know, that's the type of things I do. But yeah, Champion Achilles, man, definitely a dog of note. a dog worthy of his accolades or praise. His accolades of praise. Because if anybody asks me, I even tell Pinoleros sometimes, Pinolero Kennels, I'll be like, nah, it's the Achilles for me, brother. You know what I'm saying? But you'll see how he ties into the focal point of my breedings nowadays. So if you take a look at that, yes, rest in peace, champion Achilles. He died May 6, 2024. Definitely, at his death, was still one of my favorite dogs on earth. His chain weight was about 46 pounds. Bigger than most dogs that I like, but he was alright. Condition weight, in this picture, he's probably 41 pounds, maybe 42, because it may have been later in his show career. But you see, he was born in 2011, man. Lived a good long life in good hands with good people. But with that being said, at the end of that, I would like to tell you guys, please hit me with any questions or concerns in the comments. There was really something else. I don't know if I went over. I wanted to go over with you. Let's go back to Hambones. Nope. Yeah. Spanky. It's in Spanky's. Alright. This is Grand Champion Spanky. So like I said, you have your Grand Champion Roddy. But Grand Champion Spanky, there was a question in his pedigree, which makes sense to me. If you notice right here, Favre, aka McCollum's Timex, it was Favre's Timex, which was Goodyear's. That Goodyear and Bullet are litter mates. Or wait. Not litter mates. Goodyear and Bullet. This was a double. Bullet. This. Okay. Short story long. Let's look at Young's Timex. Makes sense with up here. This is what didn't make sense. But it was brought to my attention that this Young's Timex is actually this Timex. So this is what would be up there. Chavo to Jody, which really makes sense to the way that McCollum was breeding or acquiring dogs at the time. So I don't know what's true or not, but I believe this is the true dog that should be up there because it's Eli Carver, and that's what he ran with. So if we look at the pedigree, we go back. That's why I say that's a dog and note, just because of the fact that there's questions on, but this makes sense. Why would they go to Young's Timex, across the nation, right? And all of this that doesn't make sense when you have your Timex right there, which makes sense to your program. So that's just something I wanted to bring up to show you guys that, hey, this online pedigrees, but that's neither here nor there because it's so far back in the pedigree. That's champion is marked as the third generation of Grand Champion Spanky, and all these dogs were important in creating Grand Champion Spanky. But all my dogs, this is Spanky is the reason why he's in the dogs, I believe. So it all depends on what you want to do, how far you believe you have to go back. I do believe it's Favre's Timex or McCollum's Timex that would be up there because it only makes more sense. And then this becomes where if Timex is right here and Timex is right here, then that becomes a breeding. This is a son breeding to a dog that bred to. So these would be brother cousins. I don't know, but it makes more sense that way to me. But it doesn't matter because it's all about what comes after this dog. You know what I mean? And that's how I run with it. So I did want to bring that up just to show that, hey, this online peds, and tell you the truth, I haven't went that far in the peds. I get 6 generations. So if you count them out, if these are 4, then we'll go here. This will be 5 and 6. So this is what the pedigrees I've ever pulled from ADBA. I guess I could do more research and try to find out, but I do believe that it would be him, and it's really not that important to me on Spanky. Because with Spanky, this would be the 6th generation right here, and that's where it stops on his paperwork. Not on his paperwork, on the ADBA paperwork for Champion Achilles, which means that if it's my dog right off of Champion Achilles, this is where it would stop. Right here. So, really, does it matter? No, it doesn't. Because Spanky made a lane for himself and a name for himself, so that's where it stays. That's about it as far as Champion Achilles goes, but I would love to hear any questions or concerns, and if there's something I can answer, I will. If I can't answer it, I'll look for the answer, but feel free to leave it in the comments or contact me, and one of the many sources to contact me. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, because this is just the beginning of more sessions where I'm explaining our dogs, and then later on, we'll get to possible future dogs that I want to breed to, or other projects that I'll work on. But first, we're gonna go through the Achilles project I did, and then we're gonna understand the Achilles project, and then we'll go on from there. So while we understand who Achilles is, what Achilles made of, feel free to hit me with any questions, concerns, and I will address that on the next video, before I address the next dog of importance in my pedigrees. So I do want to give everybody a shout out, salute. Thank you for the support. If you're watching this, please hit the like and subscribe, and keep up with me. Also, let me know anything that you have any questions or concerns about, and I will try to hit that nail on the head. So going forward, everybody out there, deuces, and keep tiptoeing like a woodpecker with a head. Boy, Briggs.
Catch me riding I-10 with the windows up. Blunt full of medical, cough syrup in my cup. Man, I stay riding filthy.
Come and take a ride with me. I can show you how I roll. Come and take a chance with me.
Catch me riding I-10 with the windows up. Blunt full of medical, cough syrup in my cup. Man, I stay riding filthy.
Come and take a ride with me. I can show you how I roll. Come and take a chance with me.
Come on. It's breezy, Lone Star of the Southwest. That I-10 rider like I'm part of a contest. My head to your city, and I'm looking for the money. A pin chance taker, you ain't breaking nothing from it. Got them tickets for the low, front row to the game. And I'm blowing on that dro, so I'm serving cocaine. And I got that soft white that you can whip back round. RG3 on the field, wait for the touchdown. Yeah, I ride slow, low key, no stunting. Enough weight in the trunk to have the whole city bugging. I got so many keys, but car starts with a button. So fly in the game, you can't tell me
nothing. 9-10 with the windows up. Blunt full of medical, cough syrup in my cup. Man, I stay riding filthy.
Come and take a ride with me. I can show you how I roll. Come and take a chance with me.
Catch me riding I-10 with the windows up. Blunt full of medical, cough syrup in my cup. Man, I stay riding filthy.
Come and take a ride with me. I can show you how I roll. Come and take a chance with me.
Riding down the 10 West, headed back to Tucson. Just left El Paso, got a trunk full of coupons. Got a bitch driving, yeah, she rented out her Yukon. Just passed the border check, you know the shit that we on. I sparked up loud, we got a couple 100 miles. Codeine with a smile by the time I touch down. I'll be quarterbacking, trying to make these touchdowns. I-10 is the route, that's the way I cover ground. I enter your city, that's the way I double down. I ain't talking about losing, I'm just separating pounds. Always getting ready, about to move it out of town. Headed up to Phoenix, I-10 westbound. Catch me riding I-10 with the wind.